Are you dying to use your Xbox Elite controller with your PlayStation 5? This is the best video for you. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. You've already seen us connect an Xbox Elite or just a regular Xbox controller to our PlayStation 5. It's happened in other videos. We've used devices to make that happen. But there's a new kid on the block, and this time we have the absolute best connection option for connecting an Xbox Elite controller to your PlayStation 5, and that is right over here. This is the brand new Beloader U5 Dongle, and what this does is everything that you saw the Beloader controller do, except it's in this tiny little USB stick, and it skips all the mess and hassle of remote play. No more sending your secret PlayStation password to a company overseas. No more having to connect your Wi-Fi, speed up your internet, do a hardwired connection to your PlayStation. This is all done locally without remote play in any way. It offers the most lag-free experience that you can get using an Xbox controller with your PlayStation 5. Now, before we get into the actual connection, many of you are going to ask, well, why would I want to use an Xbox Elite controller when I've got the PlayStation DualSense controller? And that is a very, very valid question. And the answer to that is very simple. You see, some people really like this kind of controller. They like the layout of this kind of controller. They like the shape. They like how it feels in your hands. Some people say that the Xbox controller is actually the best controller that you can get for any console or PC anywhere in the world ever, period. Hard stop, no more discussion. Some people say that. Now, there are others who say that the DualSense controller is actually the best controller out there and that those Xbox people are crazy. And those people can turn this video off right now because this controller already works with your PlayStation 5 and you're probably not missing out on anything anyway. Now that those guys are gone, we can talk about how we truly feel about the Xbox controller. You already know that it really is the best controller out there, and you really want to use it on your PlayStation 5. Those of you who stuck around just to see what we might talk about behind your back, the other reason that I'm actually considering switching to an Xbox controller is this guy right here, this Xbox Elite Core series was like $100. It's in the States, it's less than $100 for this thing. And you can buy the back paddles, you can buy the adjustable thumbsticks, you can buy this mod kit for $20 that gives you everything you need. So for about $120, you get a full moddable controller that has adaptive triggers. So it's got these clicky trigger adapters right here. So you can switch between clicky triggers and full throw triggers. And one other cool trick, it's got these tension adjusters. So the thumbstick, if it's too loose for you, you just turn the tension up and then it's stiffer. Or you can loosen it more if you want. It's actually quite surprising how much they pack into this controller at such a cheap price, especially compared to your PlayStation 5 offerings. In the DualSense Edge, that's so expensive, $200 US, it's 300 Canadian dollars. This is half the price. And it gives you all the same features, and it gives you 4 back buttons instead of just 2. It gives you adjustable height thumbsticks that are actually metal and seem a lot more durable. This really is a top-notch controller. And I know you guys are saying, okay, Anton, we know that it's a good controller, and you've been blabbering for like 5 minutes already. Just hook it up. So I'm glad, you know, it's fine. Let's hook it up. I'm gonna show you how easy this is. You will not believe me. Before we get too far into this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below. If you've seen some of our content already and have not subscribed, we want you to join our community. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get back to the video. So no tricks here. We've got the PlayStation turned on. It's freaking out because I just unplugged it before I brought it over here and I didn't power it off. So all we're gonna do is connect up our PlayStation controller to the front USB. I'm gonna press the PS button and I'm gonna say go ahead and start. Now I'm gonna go into the PlayStation menu. So I'm gonna pick my Gears and Tech account and that gets me into my PlayStation menu. Now, you want to make sure that you're on a USB connection. So I'm gonna do that by going to settings. Then I'm gonna go down to accessories and I'm going to go to Controller General. And then in here, you can see I've turned certain things off. But one thing I do want to do is go to Communication Method, and I want to make sure that Use USB cable is turned on. Now, it is extremely important that that is on, because even if you are connected using a USB cable and you have Bluetooth enabled, this will communicate through Bluetooth and charge through USB. So this will not work if you have a wireless Bluetooth connection enabled. So it's very, 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 very important. Now that we're in this position, all we're gonna do is unplug the USB cord like this. It says your controller has been disconnected. We're gonna get our Beloader U5, and all we're gonna do is plug this in to the top USB port. So I've got a USB-C port, and then a regular USB-A port, and then I've got another USB port over here. We're gonna plug it in the top USB port, and then we're gonna plug this guy back into the USB port that it was plugged into. The first thing you'll see is that when I push the PS button, it will show a controller connected again. Now, the true first step that you want to do is make sure that your USB-C cord isn't really, really weird. So it worked in one direction, but it didn't work the other, because it turns out the core is missing from here and it's causing me grief. So everything I just said is still true, but now I've got a black cord and I don't want to confuse you guys. So this is still through a USB wired connection, as you can see right there. DualSense wireless controller, wired connection. If I unplug that, it's going to say DualSense wireless controller disconnected. Okay, so we're still in the same position. What I want to do now is unplug this and then plug it into the dongle with it swapped into this port right here. All we do now is plug this guy in like that, and what you'll see is now our controller is back connected, and it still says USB connection. So this will still function right now. We can go all around and do our thing. Now what we want to do is load a PlayStation 5 game that requires you to have a PlayStation 5 controller, because after all, we want to play all the games, not just the ones that let you use a third-party controller anyway. So the first thing I got to do is prove to you guys that I can't just use my Xbox controller right out of the gate. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to plug this cord into my Xbox controller, and then I'm going to plug this in to my PlayStation 5, and I'm going to push the PS button, or the Xbox button, and I'm going to go like this, and it's not going to let me use my controller. It's just not going to work. Okay, but if I unplug this and I plug in my PlayStation controller, then it says, oh, hey, there you are, controller connected. Now I'm gonna unplug it again. It's gonna freak out, and then I'm gonna go like this, plug this back into here, just like we saw before, into that port, and I'm gonna plug this in like that, and then it's gonna say, oh, yep, there you are, controller connected. And this one will still work. But now if I take another USB-C cord, we're going to take this USB-C cord, we're going to plug this into our Xbox controller, then we're going to plug this end into the front edge of the Beloader U5 dongle, like that. And now watch what happens. It says press X to continue, and now I can press X on my controller, and now you can see I'm going to go to my saved game, 0% on amazing level, and I'm going to go continue, and you can see I'm using my Xbox controller. There's nothing, all the wires are right here. And this is it. Now I haven't really played this game. So here you can see I'm Spider-Man, and I've never really played this game, but I'm using this controller to do amazing Spider-Man things. We'll go on top of the building. There we go. Now, question you're gonna ask is, does this controller still work? Well, actually, yes, it does. It doesn't lock out this controller. So either controller will work for controlling your PlayStation, but this is the one that you're mostly after. The other confession I have is this controller I actually got really cheap because it has stick drift. So even with stick drift, I can just stick this down right here and use my Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, get all of the goodness that I want. I can switch my analog sticks to be more analog-y. There we go. And it's that easy, okay? I made it look easy. It really is that easy. You just plug it in and it works. That's it. All you need is one of these guys, a B-Savior dongle. Now, one question you're gonna have is, how do we get Bluetooth connectivity? The short answer is this does not support Bluetooth. You do have to have a wired connection. Now I am playing with a Cronus Zen to provide a Bluetooth connection to your PlayStation 5 with your Xbox Elite controller, but that connection process is a little bit more messy. It has a lot of wires, and I don't really recommend it right now. I'm hoping that they make a B-Savior U5 V2 dongle that includes Bluetooth connectivity, because that would solve so many problems. But when I asked the B-Savior team, why don't you have Bluetooth? Their answer was actually pretty clear, and that is that they made it primarily for these guys, the guys that want to use something like this, or a Zim Matrix, or a Zim Infinity, or a Zim, whatever other Zims there are out there, so that they can connect directly to the PlayStation 5 using mouse and keyboard. And I know a lot of you are also saying, but mouse and keyboard is already supported on all your favorite shooting games. Why do you need this and this to use this? The answer is simple, and it's really, people want to pretend they're using a controller so that they can benefit from aim assist while still using a mouse and keyboard. It makes them unlock like a God mode. Some people might consider it cheating, but that's really what this is for, and that's because the Zim folks do not have any intention on using the method that the B-Savior guys did to connect up to a PlayStation 5 for any other reason. So you do need this as the key to unlock that. And a side benefit is you get to use your Xbox controller with your PlayStation 5 as well, which is a pretty big deal. It's a big deal. And that's what we were showing you in this video. Before we cut to the end credits, I'm glad you stayed this long, you're already asking, well, what about if I have a Switch controller? Will it work with a Switch controller? Well, yes, it will. And I'm gonna make another video. It's gonna sound exactly the same as this, but every time when I talk about the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller in this video, I'm gonna just say all those wonderful things about my PXN Nintendo Switch Pro controller, because it's just as cool as that, which you guys already knew that, but we can hook this guy up to the exact same way. You don't need to watch the other video, but if you want to watch it and see if I talk smack about the Xbox people, well, you can stick around for that video too. That one's coming up later, or it might even be out already. Have a look in our video section and see if it's there. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.